Veilleux came into the Rutgers game through the 3 touchdown passes, and granted, it's a lot different playing Rutgers defense at home than Iowa's defense on the road, 2 different deals, but was it ever uncovered? Did anyone ever ask why Veilleux was not the option instead of Taquan Roberson against Iowa when Clifford went down?
I think it was just they felt like Veilleux wasn't quite there yet with the offense. Excuse me. Yeah, Veilleux had only been on campus since I think like July or August. Well, Roberson had been around for a few years. I mean, you go back and watch that Iowa game. They obviously had some faith in Roberson because the first couple of possessions, they came out and he was chucking the ball around. He was throwing it deep. Like Yurcich was calling his offense until it became clear he couldn't. So they had faith in him. I think it's just from what we gathered, from what was said, it seems like they just thought Veilleux wasn't quite there yet as a true freshman at Iowa City. He had never played in a game before. Roberson had game action. You know, hindsight 2020, I'm sure if the staff could do it over, they would have done it differently. But, you know, I think that was the biggest thing was they didn't want to take the kid who's a true freshman who had only been living in the United States, I think, for 2 or 3 years at this point, had only been on campus since like July or August, and throw him into that atmosphere, which, you know, as frustrating as it could be as a fan, I can understand that train of thought from James Franklin and Mike Yurcich.
I should add, Marty, he hadn't played in a live football game in 2 years at that point. Mm-hmm. So I think there may have been reluctance to throw him into the fire like that, to make that his first live game action since his junior year of high school. It's a little different when you're doing it at home against Rutgers as opposed to on the road in Iowa City when you're trying to hang on to a tenuous lead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was just curious because of what Veilleux showed in that Rutgers game versus Taquan Roberson. Looked like, to me, a bit of a deer in headlights for the majority of that game.